My name is John Forster. When I'm working with children, I use some techniques based on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It's all about getting people to think differently. Shakespeare said in Hamlet, there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So if a kid's thinking about going to school and it makes them feel bad, it's something to do with the way they're thinking about school. So I show them different ways of thinking and they pick one that works for them so that when they think about going to school, it's fine. That's what I do. I get people to think differently about the same thing but in a different way. For instance, thinking about the future. It could be there's an exam tomorrow and that everybody worries about failing exams. They don't worry about passing them. They worry about failing exams. And usually if somebody's worried about failing an exam, etc., they're imagining themselves in a room doing an exam. And sometimes they even imagine the pad and the pen, and they open the question paper and they can't answer it because, of course, they don't know what the question is. They don't. It's terrible. But if I would get someone doing that to step out of themselves and see themselves tomorrow a day older at the exam, day older, knows a lot more, and there they are with everybody else, and they pick it and they open the thing, and everybody starts writing. And if you think about it that way, it's routine. But so one way of changing the way someone thinks is, instead of being there, and you're not, think about later on when you'll be there and just watch yourself getting through it.
The way I see it is this. We suffer when we're in pain, and that pain can be physical, psychological, emotional. But the suffering comes largely from the fear about not knowing where it's going to take you. So the fear makes the suffering. If you're not frightened, if you don't care, there's no suffering. But if you do fear, and most of us do, I imagine, then that suffering is made worse by the sense of helplessness. I can't do anything about it. A sense of hopelessness. I don't think anybody else can help me either. And a sense of isolation. I'm alone with my problem. And those three things really crank up the agony, if you like, the suffering. Research has showed that when you're in a negative frame of mind, your immune system doesn't function so well. So if we can help people to move out of that helplessness, hopelessness, isolation, reducing the level of their suffering, then their natural healing properties come to the fore.
If you come in and I've got this problem, it's no good saying, oh, do this and it'll be okay. No, it won't. The person has to find a way of structuring their thoughts so that it makes sense and they can get on with their life. I help people to help themselves, and it's all about somebody getting a little bit back from it all and encouraging you to try a different way of thinking without even knowing what you're thinking about usually. So there's not a lot to be scared of really. What you're going to do is help yourself in ways you don't know how to do yet.